Honesty can be disruptive, but what I've learned, and I'm still learning, is that the cost of dishonesty is so much greater. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is the first episode, and I'm so excited. This podcast is especially for you if you are a woman with neurodivergency. I'm gonna be honest, I've had a really hard time recording any video. And it comes down to me not wanting to give up because this is something that I want to do. And today, this is actually the topic that we're gonna be speaking on, which is about being honest with yourself about the things that you want and following that, being true to that, even if it shakes things up around you. So a lot of the times we're kind of caught up in trying to be what everyone else around us needs, and we push our own needs to the back. So we try to be the supportive friend, we try to be the dependable coworker who's picking up extra shifts, even if it's tiring us out. That was so specific. I really went in on that one. Like that, that is not like my personal situation. Me personally, like I will say no to a shift. Like, no, I need my free time. But I mean, what I'm trying to say is that a lot of the time we're just trying to be who we think that we're supposed to be to others. And we kind of push our own needs and our own personality and our own all the way to the back. I hope that made sense. So back in 2022, I was 27 years old, and I was in this period in my life where there was a transition. So I was just finishing up my master's, and because of COVID, we were still online. We never fully transitioned back into classes. And at the same time, I moved to the US. I moved back to the US rather. And this was after a good decade of my life being spent abroad. When I moved back to the US, I stayed with family, and I got the closest and easiest job that I could. And that was at McDonald's. I could walk to my job. It was a 10-minute walk, but unfortunately it paid $13 an hour. It was something. I mean, it was enough to where I didn't have to ask for money because I had pocket change, but it just wasn't enough to actually build a life on. And I was at this point where I was like, dang, I'm 27 years old working at McDonald's. I was working with teenagers. The high schoolers, there was a high school nearby, and they would come in for breakfast and lunch, and they thought I was a teenager. But the store manager, she did want to make me a manager, and she pulled me aside one day and she was like,
"One day, Simba, the sun will set on my time here and will rise with you as the new king."
I'm not hating at all on this profession, but like I said, I was doing my master's in international relations, and I just knew that there was a more for me, that I didn't want to just get stuck because of circumstances. So I worked at McDonald's for 3 months, and it got to a point where I was like, I can't do this anymore. I got a job at Old Navy next. I made $15 an hour, and I was like, oh, I'm moving on up, $2 more an hour. Okay, look at me. But that didn't work out either. So I was just in this place where I was like, I can't get stuck here, and I need to make a change. So long story short, on my 28th birthday, I moved to Seattle, and I didn't have any family here. I didn't have any friends here. I didn't have any job prospects. I literally just picked up my life and just decided to leave. And this was halfway across the country. And I definitely had people telling me that is not smart. That's a dumb idea. But at the end of the day, I knew that to get out of the situation that I was in, I needed to make a drastic change. So I was really honest with myself. I mean, do I keep doing what I'm doing and stay in the situation? Or do I do something risky that could potentially have more reward. And I chose the latter, obviously, and my life is way different than if I had just stayed in Baltimore, in my comfort zone. And y'all don't know me, like, the way I was raised, like, I was raised to be like a very polite, very good girl, like, don't disobey your parents, don't, like, you know, don't speak up to elders. So this was like a huge thing for me, saying like, I know all my elders are telling me not to do this, but I'm gonna do this anyway. Like, that was a huge step for me. Within a few months of quitting McDonald's, making $13 an hour, I got another job making double that. And a few months after that, I got another job making even more with more benefits. So it really all worked out, and like, I really thank God for his grace and for being with me on that journey. It definitely wasn't just all me. It was the result of a lot of prayer and a lot of seeking God. So why am I saying all this? I'm saying all of this to point you back to the fact that you have to be honest with yourself about what you want. Even if it shakes things up, you have to let go of the roles that you're playing in everybody's life. I really like this quote by William Shakespeare. He said, "All the world's a stage, and men and women are the actors." And that really feels like what we're doing sometimes. Like, we're just acting, like we're just fulfilling roles that we're supposed to fulfill. And to be extremely honest, if you don't fulfill a role in somebody's life that you're supposed to fulfill, or vice versa, it does cause tension. I mean, speaking from personal experience, not fulfilling the role of the good daughter caused tension between me and my parents. I think that trust and social currency is often built off of whether or not you're fulfilling your roles properly. That's just how I see it, and it's something that I've never fully been able to do. The idea of fitting into a box just makes me so uncomfortable, but because of this mindset that, you know, we have to kind of play the right roles in this life to get what we want, I really kept myself in that box and feeling uncomfortable. So a few days ago, I started asking myself, what would it look like if I lived a year of radical honesty? And I want to pose that same question to you. If you've been feeling like you're not living up to your full potential, if you feel like you've been putting everybody else first, but you're drowning in that, you've been putting everybody else first, but neglecting yourself, there's a few questions I want to ask you, and I want you to pull out a journal, maybe now, maybe later, but I definitely want you to go through these questions and really reflect on whether this is the type of life that you're happy living. So I'm not saying that it's easy. Honesty can be disruptive. It can cost relationships, routines, and even parts of yourself that no longer fit. But what I've learned, and I'm still learning, is that the cost of dishonesty is so much greater. You know, every time that we're making a choice, we're not just making one choice, we're making two choices. We are making the choice and its opposite. So if you're saying yes to something, it means you're also saying no to something else. I'm saying yes to filming this podcast right now, and it's almost 9 p.m. So I am saying no to cooking. I could be at the gym right now. I'm saying no to gym. That this is the time that I'm carving out to work on this podcast. So what would it look like to move just 5% closer to your truth this week? To just write down everything that you want and that you don't want in life, and not judge yourself for it. So I do want to encourage you to take more time with the questions, go journal them, and be brave enough to be honest with yourself. I'm on this journey too. You are not alone. And I'm definitely gonna document the ways that I'm gonna live in radical honesty this year. So if any part of this message resonated with you, I would love to hear it in the comments. I would love if you liked the video and subscribed. Until next time.